So here we go. Call a regular monthly meeting of the Ellsworth City Council to order Monday, March 20th, 2017, 7 p.m. in the Ellsworth Council Chambers. All councils are present with the exception of Don Hudson, who seems to be missing from the chair. Item 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand while we recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3, Rules of Order. We follow Robert's Rules of Order plus rules and procedure adopted at the annual organizational meeting. If anyone in the audience has a cell phone or a pager, please be sure that it's either off or silent at this time. Item 4, adoption of the Ellsworth City Council minutes, 2/24/2017, a special meeting, 2/24/2017, a regular meeting.
Move approval, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All those in favor?
Abstain.
Abstention? Mr. Moore abstains. It carries. Item 5, city managers' reports. Well, the regular city manager is home ill. We have our deputy city manager in place. Do you have anything to report to us tonight?
I do, sir. So I have three things. One, I wanted to remind you there's a special meeting next Monday night, March 27th. We'll be discussing the two items that are being tabled on tonight's agenda that has to do with the State Street drainage project. We have to table it because the city is trying to finalize the agreement with the DOT. The second thing are, after the special meeting next Monday night, we've got two workshops. One has to do with the sewer abatement section of the sewer ordinance, and we also have the fire prevention ordinance. The third thing is that on April 12th at the Moore Community Center, we'll be having an Ellsworth Rising breakfast forum. And the purpose of this forum is to provide information of investment opportunities in Ellsworth. If you'd like to attend that meeting, you would just contact Mickey Sumter. And again, that's April 12th at the Moore Community Center.
Good. Thank you. Doing a fine job.
Question of the
Forty.
deputy.
Yes.
The special meeting on the 27th is a totally different time, right?
Correct.
For the public, should you,
It's at 5:30.
okay.
Yep, I'm sorry about that.
Nope,
And
that's
then the two workshops will begin at 6:30.
6:30?
6 and then 6:30.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Two workshops, same,
Same
one
night.
right after the other.
Yep.
Good, thank you. Mr. Moore, would you like to introduce our
Well,
special guest?
tonight we have a special guest here. His name's Robert Springer. He's the one with the Boy Scout outfit on. And he is here because he's working toward achieving his Eagle Scout rank, which only 1% of all Boy Scouts accomplish. And in order to realize his goal, he must earn a total of 21 merit badges in areas of interest in addition to the usual requirements of rank. So he's currently working on his communication merit badge, which requires him to attend a public meeting. And we're really going to entertain him tonight, where several points of view are given on a single issue. And from his notes of tonight's meeting, he will write an objective report that includes all the points of view that will be expressed. So we're very pleased to have Robert with us tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Item 6, committee reports. This is for any member of the council that attended an outside or associated committee who will bring back any information they received that for the rest of the council to hear. I managed to attend the closing of the Harbor Commission meeting as I had the time wrong and I arrived just as it was finishing, so I cannot tell you any of the details. Mr. Moore was missing. I thought I'd be there, but I was late. Any other? Mr. Fortier?
Rec Commission met the first of the month. We entertained all the outside agencies requesting funding through the Rec Commission budget. And we meet again the first part of April when we'll be discussing the pickup of the ice skating rink. That's pretty well gone. We got heavy snow on top of only an inch or so of ice, so we can't even clean it off. Mother Nature has not been kind to us this year, but we had a heck of a winter carnival weekend, so. And on another note, Chief Mosher and I had a meeting with a local citizen regarding the basketball courts. The next door neighbor has seen quite a bit of activity behind the sound curtains on her side, which makes her uncomfortable. So she's asked us to consider not putting the sound curtains up this year and to see if there is a big difference in the sound noise and whether she feels safer with them down. So at the next rec commission meeting, I will bring that to them. And I believe the sound curtains were a requirement of this council, so I may have to bring it back with a recommendation from the rec commission at the April meeting, depending on how the manager sees it. End of discussion, or at least comments.
Thank you, Mr. Fortier. Any other committees that met last month? Okay. Moving right along, item 7, citizens' comments. This is a portion on the agenda, portion of the meeting on the agenda that allows anyone in the audience to come to the podium, identify themselves, and they may speak for 2 minutes on any subject that they would like to bring to the council's attention. Seeing no anxious people running forward, we'll move on to item 8, presentation of awards. For recognition of the wastewater treatment facility for having been selected by the New England Water Environment Association to receive its 2016 Wastewater Utility Award. Mike, why don't you come up with your rest of your crew? You did a handsome award. From what I got from Mr. Harris, the New England Wastewater Utility Management Award serves to acknowledge the outstanding performance of a wastewater division in the New England area as illustrated through the implementation of industry best management practices. The award recognizes that regardless of capacity, how the process, people, and customers are managed is of paramount importance. I guess the bottom line, we've got a wonderful new facility, and it appears that you guys are doing a terrific job running it. You're doing a great job managing it. We thank you all very much, and congratulations on winning the award. Consent agenda. We have a few items on that tonight. Item 9, Council Order 031-700, reservation of the City of Ellsworth's right to harvest alewives. Item 10, Council Order 031-701, request of the Deputy Treasurer Tax Collector to accept payments on tax-acquired timeshare units per the attached spreadsheet and to authorize the City Manager to release said properties through municipal quitclaim deeds. Item 11, Council Order 031-702, acceptance of Sandra Carter's resignation from the Ellsworth Housing Authority Commissioners Board with a term to expire January 1, 2019. Item 12, Council Order 031-703, acceptance of Candy Perkins' resignation from the Harbor Commission with a term to expire on June 30, 2017. Item 13, Council Order 031-704, appointment of Steve Henry as a member of the Harbor Commission with a term to expire on June 30, 2017. Item 14, Council Order 031-705, request of the City Manager to hold a special municipal school budget validation referendum election on June 13, 2017 for the purpose of validating the school budget in conjunction with the special state referendum election. Any council members wish to remove any of those from the agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to pass the agenda as presented?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
move to accept the consent agenda, all 6 items as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 15, we have 3 requests for licenses. We'll start with the first one. Asset Management Incorporated, doing business as the Riverside Cafe, 151 Main Street, for renewal of a city Class B license, victual, liquor, and amusement, and renewal of a state restaurant Class 1, 2, 3, and 4 malt, spiritus, and vinous liquor license. All the city's departments are contented with that one? Good. Questions from the council? Seeing none, public hearing is now open for any public input on the request of Riverside Cafe for renewal of their license. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Council action?
Move approval of asset management, DBA Riverside, as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Unanimous. Second item is Capital Pizza Huts Incorporated, doing business as Pizza Hut, 211 High Street, for renewal of a state restaurant Class 1, 2, 3, 4, and malt liquor license. And they two are good? City's friends. Questions from council? Seeing none, public hearing is now open. Any public input on the request of Pizza Hut for renewal of their license? Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Item 3, Primavera, also known as Jasper's Motel, 200 High Street, for a new lodging house license.
Mr. Chairman,
Don't think we voted on that.
I'd move approval of Capital Pizza Hut Incorporated.
Second.
Did I miss that one again? How'd I do that? So, moved and seconded. How about all those in favor? Good Lord,
You're too fast.
I apologize. Huh. My mind thinks I did that. This is really gonna work
That's
well.
a scary part.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. All right, moving right along. See, young man, you've come to public meetings and government. Not a perfect
Yeah,
form.
government at work.
All right, let's try this again. Primavera, also known as Jasper's Motel, 200 High Street, for a new lodging house license. They are. Would you approach the podium, please? I have a question on this.
Yes, sir.
And this is for the motel only?
This is for the motel only.
Okay, I just was sure because I drove by today and there's a fair amount of work going on at the restaurant. And I was wondering,
There is a fair amount of work going on in the restaurant, yes.
do you have any idea of when they are projecting?
For the restaurant,
Yeah,
I do not.
okay.
We met with the contractor today, and there's still just studs in the building
Okay.
right now, so it's
No,
gonna be a while.
that's fine.
Yep.
But this covers the motel and you've been through
Just
that? and that-
motel only, yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Where this is a new lodging license, are they required to attend? Do we have a representative here from the,
Right here.
yeah, just if you'd go over and state your name and for the record, and you get to be on TV, and-
Oh, good. Virginia Moscato.
okay, and you represent the lodging. Thank you.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
all we needed. Thank you so much. Any questions from council on this request? Now, the public hearing is now open for the request of Primavera, also known as Jasper's Motel, for a new license. Any public input? Seeing none on that, we'll now close that, and we're gonna ask the council for action.
Mr. Chairman, move approval for the licensing of Primavera, AKA Jasper's Motel.
Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. All those in favor? That worked much better that way. Item 16, Council Order 031706, presentation by Heart of Ellsworth for approval to use city streets and properties in the downtown area for the Taste of Ellsworth event planned for the summer of 2017.
We have Kara Romano here, the Executive Director for the Heart of Ellsworth. She will be presenting this item for the event they'd like to hold in Ellsworth this summer.
Good, perfect.
Good evening. My name is Cara Romano. Thank you very much for having us here to make our case for the Franklin Street event. I did prepare a map with the help that was upside down. A map with the help of Jana Newman upstairs, just to highlight the area that we're looking for your bearings. This is City Hall, and then this is Main Street. So the corridor between currently Elizabeth's and the JV Atlantic building. We're looking to have this section of Lower Franklin Street closed down, spilling out maybe onto, or definitely actually spilling out onto the back street, Store Street, for access for the 8 to 10 vendors in total. There'll be 8 food vendors and 2 two liquor, a beer tent here in the back, sort of behind Elizabeth. So we're looking to shut the street down for the hours of maybe 1 o'clock for load-in all the way until probably possibly cleanup would be around 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So we are looking to have the street shut down between those hours so that we have a little bit of a breather on both ends so that people will be able to set up and have the event to start between the hours of 4:30 and 5 o'clock, go to probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
And the date is June 24th?
Yes, sir. And the rain date is the 25th, so if for some reason the weather doesn't cooperate that day, we have the following Sunday.
What kind of activities are you planning?
We are currently working to have on the backside here of the JB Atlantic building games that are appropriate for families and kids. So face painting possibly, Jenga, sort of like a large size Jenga game, cornhole, things like that. We are looking to have 2 different bands here sort of set up at the where Store Street and Franklin Street, or actually I should say where the parking lot begins and where Store Street ends. And then the food vendors will be set up in and along Franklin Street here, and tables will be set up and provided by Wallace Tent and Rental. We're also looking into the possibility of working with Healthy Acadia to make them receive a portion of the proceeds for their food drive that they do this month, but also they are constantly working on food security issues here in our county. So we want to make sure that this is a food-centric event, and we are currently securing sponsorships in and around the city, and we're trying to just sort of really make this event a yearly event that will always happen the last weekend of June, and it's to really celebrate our community and to celebrate the folks like all of us in this room that live here year-round and put up with all 4 seasons, and it's for that time for those folks.
That time of year is almost the beginning of the real summer here in
Exactly.
Ellsworth.
Any other questions from council? Sounds like a terrific idea. Now, we have our public safety department. Is the police department satisfied with this, and is the fire department satisfied with this? So what do we have for input on that, of the closing of the streets? Anyone address that issue, please?
Public safety has met with the downtown folks here that want to do this project.
Mm-hmm.
It may alter some of our response routes, but in an effort to cooperate, we're certainly willing to do that.
So bottom line, okay, sounds good, we'll go a different way.
Sounds like a good time.
Okay, and you're good with it too?
Yeah, I was part of those meetings as well, and ultimately,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Glenn, yeah. Yeah.
ultimately, along with the fire department, our response wouldn't really be hampered because
No.
we typically don't use that avenue anyway. But we came up with an agreement that we would have law enforcement presence
Okay.
down at the event, especially with the alcohol tent, to make sure that people are confined and to the places where they can consume alcohol, and just to ensure traffic safety and the safety of the people who are there, expecting that the traffic is not going to be running through. So, so with those concessions, we agreed that it would be
Okay.
a great event.
We're gonna make it work, cool. Thank you, chief.
So.
So,
Thank you.
no, thank you. Mr. Crossley?
One question, Mr. Chairman. Would there be any kind of stipulation as far as how far we have to be from a church to have that alcohol tent? We have a church right here across the street. I'm just wondering if that's just for permanent structures, or if this would play into...
Mr. Hangy, if you could address that for Mr. Crossley, you may be the answer.
Basically, the distance is 300 feet
Yeah.
from the tent to the front door of the building.
Okay,
And then we're probably well over 300 feet from there.
yeah. Good, thank you.
Okay.
Good, thank you for addressing that. Good question. Any other questions from council? Mr. Fortier?
Kara, do you expect to have over our mass gathering permit numbers in there?
We have applied for a mass gathering permit.
Okay.
And we have
I'm sorry.
with Jake. Should I be up there?
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
it's
sorry, sir.
unfortunately,
You don't have to run.
no, it's, that's all right. We just want to make you run back and forth.
We have applied for a mass gathering certificate or permit, thank you. And we have also been working with Wallace, and we have determined that really feasibly in that area, we really can only sell 150 tickets. It's our hope that everything goes well the first year, of course, and that in time, the event will grow. I do feel that that amount of tickets and the fact that something like this has not happened in the recent history of Ellsworth, that I think we're going to sell tickets out pretty quickly. Certainly my hope and sort of my board's goal. So I think, yes, I guess that would be the answer to
Yeah,
that question.
yes is the answer. Perfect. Before you go, any other questions from the young ladies at the stand?
Just a comment. I think she has had some good counsel from our staff. I think this shows how smooth something can go through the system when you do it right, that you're not springing this on someone the end of May. So I congratulate your group, and your leadership is making some waves down there.
Oh, well, thank you.
Happy. No, we're glad to see it happen, so thank you very much. If that's the last, then we might have a council action, I assume.
We don't have a
Well, I'm a-
suggested.
Oh, you're pretty good at that.
I would
Mr. Ford.
suggest, Mr. Chairman, that I'd move to approve the request of Heart of Ellsworth for the use of city streets as outlined tonight, under all our registration and licensing requirements for the June 24th or 25th date, 2017, as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. I assume you voted yes, Mr. Moore?
I did,
That was quick.
very quickly.
Yeah, and I just wanted to be on my
Thank you.
game. I was a little off there earlier. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. Item 17, Council Order 031-707, presentation by Dobbs Productions for approval to utilize the local public access Channel 2. Mr. Dobbs, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. As you know, that my presentation tonight, I can make it short or long, but
Short is
it
good.
is, your approval is subject to the potential approval of Spectrum or Time Warner or whatever they're called, that I've been dealing with for 37 years, which started off as Adams Russell. But for the record, since, I mean, we've talked a little bit, but I assume for the TV audience, you want me to give a little bit of
And
a
the
talk
public,
about
yeah.
who I am and what I propose to do, so I'll do that. Number one, my name is Jeff Dobbs, and I reside in Bar Harbor, Maine, and I started the Acadia Channel and MDI-TV 37 years ago in Bar Harbor, which grew from the town of Bar Harbor to the town of Bar Harbor and Southwest Harbor and Tremont, and eventually became Mount Desert also. During the 37 years that started off as Island Update, we became MDI-TV, and today we are the Acadia Channel. I propose to do the same thing that I'm doing down there, which I will read through the proposal in just a minute. I have brought with me some documents tonight, which I'll give to your IT gentlemen. First of all, there's the brief history of all the things you need to know about how it is that a leased access and a public access can actually happen. I am one of the two, I believe, in the whole state of Maine that does this, and I think the other one is SKI and up in Sugarloaf. I'll leave these documents with you. It's all you need to know about making everybody happy between the cable company and everybody, their letters from town managers, people who are concerned about me taking over cable television on Mount Desert Island, and the bottom line was everybody's living happily ever after. But I'll leave these with him. Also, there's a copy of my most recent Acadia Channel contract, which is only 2 years old. I've had 5 or 6, I guess, because the history of what I've done is long, not very sorted, but it's certainly interesting, and taken turns over the past 37 years. And there is a complete history in here. If you so choose to read it, I'll give a copy over there. Also, here is a copy, and I believe your IT department already has the access policy for people. There has to be accommodations for people who want to put something on public access. This policy, I believe he got this one from Steve Cornell down in, Jason got this from Steve Cornell down in Bar Harbor, because we hammered all this stuff out. It will have to change again, but this is how it stands right now. So all this information you'll have if you would like to look at it. In 37 years, the only one who's initiated any public access on Mount Desert Island has been me, with the exception of one wonderful gentleman who happened to be the father of Susan Sarandon, who lived over in Mount Desert, and we produced some wonderful cooking shows for many years before he died. But the information has to be available because it is public access. You have to be open in case someone who wants to do something. But in the many concerns that have been raised to me through different town councils in Bar Harbor, Southwest, and Mount Desert, one person in 37 years, but it's all right here, all that information. As I said before, we started 37 years ago, and we are public access and leased access. The leased access part of what we do is now called the Acadia Channel. It is tourist information programming. The reason I came up with the tourist information programming was it was the birth of the cable channel I started, was because Bar Harbor has 3,200 motel rooms, plus or minus. It's been about the same over the years. I went to Emerson College in Boston, Mass., graduated in 1972, and I couldn't do anything in my other than still photography until cable television came to Bar Harbor back in 1980. Because of the number of hotel rooms, it made it financially feasible for me to sell advertising to have a information program that tourists could watch. And back in 1980, cable was a pretty big deal, and everybody loved to watch it. Not so much these days, the internet, but we're dealing with that too. Because of that, it enabled us to grow a little bit, and we became a full-fledged production company. And also, many of you know me as a documentary filmmaker. I have, as I mentioned earlier when I met with you, I'm a former chairman of the Maine Film Commission. I helped start the Maine Film Commission. I was a town councilor in Bar Harbor for 15 years. I serve as the chairman of the Parks and Recreation, and I also serve on the board of the Village Improvement Association. So I'm a pretty stable organization as far as living on Mount Desert Island and coming to Ellsworth. I think at this point I will just read the proposal subject to your approval and to Spectrum Television's approval. I did have an email from a gentleman who is supposedly handling it. His name is Todd LaSalle, and I will, his first email to me, and I know Todd, I know most of the people who've been there since the beginning. Spectrum's first inclination was to try to charge me to do this. And I said in a return email, which Jason Ingalls has, that because of all the things I've been put through in the past 6 or 7 years, and that I wasn't interested in paying anything to do it. All I was trying to do, and I'm going to just make a brief statement of what I told him, because all I'm trying to do at this point, and I believe connecting Ellsworth and Mount Desert Island together will allow me to make sure that public access television exists into the future, because you've had your Channel 2 for about the same amount of time, and you've been able to do nothing with it. I've done limited stuff because the least access Acadia Channel has been fairly successful because of the tourist dollars. But the public access programming that I've done over the years, Christmas concerts, mainly to do with health programming, exercise programming, working with the WISE, Healthy Acadia, which was formerly called Patch, and the hospital is the WISE. And I hope to, in the next 10 years, get that back on track because because cable television, as I mentioned earlier, has kind of lost its stardom, and the internet has kind of taken over, but I'm kind of using both of them right now. But I hope between Ellsworth and Bar Harbor and Southwest Harbor and Mount Desert that we can find enough support for public access to keep it going after I retire, which hopefully will be in the next 10 years. But so
Mr.
without
Chairman?
further
Yes, sir.
ado,
Could we waive the reading of the entire proposal?
Well, okay.
We have it in front of us. It's
Okay, but-
available at the clerk's office. If there's questions about it, it's been
Okay.
available for
well,
a
I'll
week,
just
10
give you
days.
the skinny on it, okay?
We got the skinny on it.
We've got,
Okay, well, I was just gonna do that for the viewers, but if you don't want me to do it, you're the boss.
no, I think probably the agreement is all the nuts and bolts of doing this, and it's our purview to review and see that it's acceptable. I think we all have had a chance to review it, I assume, and if there were any questions of Mr. Dobbs about the agreement, we could ask.
I'm actually very interested in seeing this happen. More information is is usually a good thing. And I've seen a lot of your work over the years, and it's all quality work.
Thank you very much.
And I hope we can go with this.
Well, like I said, I hope that combining with Ellsworth will create some more interest, because the public access for the public access portion of what we'll be doing, and by the way, for people who are here, the public access channel will be known as the Ellsworth Public Access Channel, and the Acadia Channel will retain its original name.
Great.
And I'm hoping, because the public access will probably be mainly health-oriented, the programming that we're trying to create, health and education. And we need a broader base, because there's not a ton of money out there, and as you will read or have read in my proposal, that we are not subsidized, or there's no money through, we don't get any money from the government, we don't get any money from the towns or anything. And in the public access portion, I donate half of my services based upon our production rates, which haven't changed in 20 years. So, and we propose to do that during, the off-season, because the summertime is when most of us make our money. We hope that, a lot of this program is going to come forward. We used to do a ton of it before. I've been archiving stuff that you can see on YouTube.
Thank you. I guess the bottom line is the Dobbs production will provide this at no cost to the city. It lights up the channel that's been dark for ages, and it will offer some public information that we haven't had before. Any further questions? Any questions from the audience? Seeing none, council action.
Mr. Chairman, move approval of Council Order 031707 for approval for Dobbs Productions to utilize local public access Channel 2.
And subject to renewal on an annual basis.
Oh, well. Okay. Here we go.
Modify the motion.
Securing a lease agreement with Spectrum Charter to utilize local public access Channel 2, and subject to renewal on an annual basis.
Well, thank you, Mr. Moore.
I didn't have that in the official document.
That's it. Well, that's just absolutely
He's
perfect.
technology desperate.
Do I have a second?
I would second that motion, Mr.
We
Chairman.
did second it. Any questions, further questions?
I'd like to thank Gary for his assistance.
We'll get there. Thank you very much. No questions. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you for your presentation, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't need a lot of luck, but it'll be a lot of
Now,
perspiration.
skills you've acquired through the years will come
Well,
to you.
you know,
I'll see you once a year.
There you go.
just putting dog and cat pictures up
We'll-
will be a start.
We'll find a way to keep him from having to come every year, though.
Yep. All right, now moving right along. Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr.
Jeff.
Dobbs. Thank you for your presentation, and good luck.
Thank you.
Item 18, Council Order 031708, request of the police chief to approve the agreement between the City of Ellsworth and the Hancock County Commissioners for the Regional Communication Center third shift dispatching services. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the council, deputy city manager, members of the public. I am coming today to ask that you approve the agreement between the City of Ellsworth and the Regional Communications Center for third shift dispatch. Just a little history. Back in September, we entered into the agreement with the Hancock County RCC Regional Dispatch Center to take over our third shift dispatch when we couldn't staff it ourselves due to some issues with employees leaving. So it was entered into a 6-month pilot project, which by all accounts has been successful. There has been some adjustments that we've had to make, mostly in the realm of data entry, due to the fact that there's certain things that they haven't provided in the past to other agencies that we were fortunate enough that our own dispatch was able to do for us. But we were able to make those adjustments, and all in all, I believe that the pilot project was successful. It's cost effective, and they have agreed to continue the program on a yearly basis, and they've actually extended the hours of coverage for 7 days a week, 11 to 7. Which is extremely beneficial to scheduling and makes life a little bit easier on our side of things. And all in all, I think it's a relatively good bargain, if you will, for the city. And it's because of those reasons that I'm suggesting and asking that the council approve the agreement.
And and it has worked well at this point, and I think you've addressed what we've done so far. Yes.
I'd like to just add that we're saving approximately $45,000 in doing this. We did some calculations, and the savings is significant.
Substantial.
But just this one shift.
Good. It's nice to know. Any questions for the chief on this request? Mr. Fortier?
Earlier in the week, I went and talked to a couple of people, and I had some real concerns about the level of service that we're receiving. I have since had more conversations and understand that the fire service area chiefs are going to have a discussion of this and come up to some information and agreement as to what, because Ellsworth Fire and Ellsworth Police, from listening to scanner traffic, our dispatchers do a lot more data entry on timing and issues and goals on a fire scene that aren't getting done now, and I understand that. But I'm comfortable talking with the administration of, well, city manager, assistant city manager Moat, and the fire department, that that's workable. So I'm in support of this. Tonight, this is mostly financial and timing. I would ask the finance director hat, is it really efficient to be paying $2,000 a month? Can't we write them one check for this fiscal year and write them one check for July on, instead of having staff go through a $2,000 check, a $2,000 check? Wouldn't it be more efficient just to pay them the rest of this fiscal year, and then July 1 pay them for the 6 months on that? Just something like that. That's your call. I'm not dictating that. I'm just saying.
And we could check with the RCC,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
they're would prefer
Or do
us
they
to do it
bill
this way.
monthly? How do they do, how are you being,
Yeah.
how is it being
Billed
presented to
monthly.
us now? Monthly
Yeah,
bills?
the contract will be monthly. My only concern with that is there is a 30-day exit clause built into
Okay.
the agreement where if we've prepaid, essentially, that would be,
They got a checkbook.
we might run into
Yeah.
an issue where we're trying to recover our,
But as of now, you've been paying them monthly,
We are.
yes.
yeah, which seems to have
It's
worked.
fine, it's just an idea.
Any other comments or questions? Council action then?
Mr. Chairman, I'm just trying to see if I've got all my stuff here.
There you go. Mr. Forty has it for you.
Move to approve Council Order 031708, request of the police chief to approve the agreement between the City of Ellsworth and the Hancock County Commissioners for the Regional Communications Center third shift dispatching services.
As presented.
As presented.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Move in second. All those in favor?
Before you do
Oh,
that, do
excuse
we have
me.
to authorize the city manager to sign it since his name's on the contract, not the city council's?
Yes.
I would add a friendly amendment to include authorize the city manager to sign the document on behalf of the city council.
And,
I agree.
all right, moved and seconded with one small adaptation. All those in favor? I think that was unanimous. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item 18, Council Order 031709, request of the city manager to approve and execute an agreement between the City of Ellsworth and Maine Department of Transportation to cost share the necessary drainage improvements in the State Street, Forest Avenue vicinity.
Move to
This
table,
is
Mr. Chairman.
not ready yet, needs to be tabled.
So moved,
Motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 20, Council Order 031710, request of the city manager to approve engineering services with Hedifine Engineering for the necessary drainage improvements in the State Street, Forest Avenue vicinity. Same as before, we're not ready for this at this time. Do we have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Item 21, Council Order 031711, request of the Public Works Director to extend the contract for the certain road striping services to Jordan Striping. So, seeing no Public Works.
I'll be handling this, sir. So, the city is designated as an urban compact. This means that all roads within the urban compact are the responsibility of the city, which includes maintenance and paving. The next two agenda items are requests to extend the current agreements for the two types of striping. The first one is to extend their agreement for the arrows, the lane designations, the stop bars, and crosswalks. Jordan Striping has stated they'd hold the same unit pricing as they did last year. The second item is the striping of the yellow center lines, the dotted lines, and the white fog lines. Lucas Striping has asked if we could enter into a contract for a 3-year contract, and they would request a 0.5 cent per linear foot increase. And I just wanted to let you know, we've been working with these same companies for years, and both of them, they're great to work with. We've had no issues.
And then that note too, at one time we had we did low bid and tried a different company, and it was not a good experience. Didn't get the job done on time, poor quality, and that didn't work. These two have both done well. Questions
Well-
from the council?
I said it last year, I gotta say it again this year. The quality of the paint used perhaps isn't as good as it used to be. It's dull. It doesn't last as long as it used to.
We're putting 3 more million extra cars on it every year, too.
Perhaps, a new pair might help you see it.
And you know,
He's a vegetarian.
and you have an interesting point, because as you drive around, and not just in our community too, I see by this time of year that it's pretty hard on many different crosswalks and turn arrows, and pretty skimmy. Yes, sir, Mr. Fortier?
correct me if I'm wrong, we didn't do the fall striping last year, did we?
No, we did not, because we found that it really wasn't, we found no benefit from doing the fall striping as well. In the springtime, we still couldn't see the lines. in
So the
spring.
time we used the winter salt and sand and plowed, it did not help, did not survive.
Mr. Chairman, you ready for a motion,
I
sir?
think we are, if no one else has any other questions on the request of, for the Jordan striping.
I move to approve the request of the Public Works Director to extend the agreement for arrows, lane designation, stop bars, crosswalk striping to Jordan Striping Service Incorporated at the unit prices attached to the proposal.
Second.
Moving second. All those in favor? What's that? That was the yes, that was unanimous.
Oh, I'm just confused about these two memos we have. There's certainly, they don't match up with
They're
the
reversed.
motion
Reversed.
that was just made.
Yeah, they were reversed in I noticed that. Council Order 031712, request of the Public Works Director to extend the contract for center and sideline striping to Lucas Striping, LLC.
Same thing, Mr. Chairman?
Same thing.
You ready for a motion?
Yep, if we have any other, if we're all satisfied with this
I gotta
particular
get to
one?
it, John. Where'd you put it?
I don't know, I don't think I got enough in mind.
There it is. Yeah, just in the digital format, they're on top of each other.
Yeah, right there.
Move to approve the request of the Public Works Director to extend the agreement for centerline and sideline striping to Lucas Striping LLC at the unit prices per the attached proposal.
Second.
Mr. Beetham.
I just want everybody to note that a half penny increase per foot, in some cases, is well over 10% increase in the striping. That it's not the same as it was, so it's not a true extension of contract. When you got a 4 cent a foot and you put another half a cent on it, it's a lot more than 10%. So it's not to be,
The wording of the
Take a look at
contract, or wording of the,
I'm not saying that it's a bad deal or anything else, but I just want everybody to understand that it is a substantial increase. It's not to be taken lightly, so.
Yeah, pretty clever to just go by the half-cent thing.
okay, we had a motion and a second. Any other comments? All those in favor? Opposed? Mr. Beetham is opposed.
Finally, we got
Council-
some dissension, so he has something to write about.
Yeah. 23, adjournment. Have a motion?
I want to stay here all night. Second.
I think I heard somebody say they want to go home. All those in favor? We got a unanimous, thank you.